But don't take my word for it. Here are some clips and comments from classes, teachers, students, and parents. Enjoy!
Hello, my name is Vicki Frolicker. I can tell you that working for Ideal for Gifted is truly ideal for me. I have lived and taught in 8 different states, all in the private school market. However, even in private schools, there weren't specific programs for gifted or twice exceptional students. We made accommodations in the regular classroom as best we could, but still, I could see that without a full-time or at least a part-time class placement for these students in specific gifted education, their needs were not being met. I love the individualization of the programming that we make for each of the students, and our class size limit is 9. I'm really able to tailor the instruction just for those kids. Plus, with Google Classroom, I can assign specific activities for each child, which of course is just plus, plus, plus for our kids. We have close relationships with their family, so you can communicate frequently. I feel like I'm really making a difference. And the projects that the kids make are just amazing. They're out of this world. Um, and I tell you, your children, they'll blow you away when they're given a chance to be in a program such as this that is tailored just to them. Thank you for listening.
I really enjoy Visualize with you, Dr. Stewart. It's always a lot of fun, and I really feel like I've grown a lot in my ability to accept the mistakes that I make in my artwork. I really enjoy Latin class with you, Miss Jillian. I always look forward to it. I can't wait to move on to Primer B with you.
Hi, my name is Surian, and I'm 9 years old. This is my 3rd year at Ideal for Gifted. At first, I thought it would be like online public school, but then once I saw how different it was, I really enjoyed it. My favorite subjects are Latin and math. In math, the work is always challenging and much better than regular 3rd grade. They put me at a level of math that is challenging to me, and we learn a new thing every day. You can choose Latin or Spanish as your language. I chose Latin. I'm in Latin too. We do conversational Latin, and we have a lot of fun in Latin class joking around. We also get to translate some really fun Latin novels to English. This year, we are doing Mercurius Infans Horribilis. That means Mercury, the horrible baby. It's about a little baby god who steals a cow and other crazy things. Also, before lunch, there's homeroom, where we play games like Scribble, that's like Pictionary, do multiplayer jigsaw puzzles, or Bonk. That's a game where you pop each other's player. There's also quiet rooms if you want to work by yourself, and collaborative learning rooms so you can work with people from your class on projects and other things. On Fridays, independent investigations, or this semester, we can choose a STEAM project or a Shakespeare play. Overall, I really enjoy going to Ideal for Gifted every day.
This is Gus, and Gus was with us for 3 years, yes? And he's now an alumni. What's it like to be a student at Ideal for Gifted? And especially in your case, what's it like now that you were with us for 3 years and now you're in a more typical school?
Hi, my name is Gus, and this is why I love Ideal for Gifted. Well, loved it. It's just like in-person school with classrooms and teachers for different subjects. The classrooms are smaller, so there's lots of times to talk and get to know each other. I made a lot of friends here. The breaks every 45 minutes got my eyeballs off the screen and just let me unwind for 15 minutes. It was very refreshing. Most of the classes are really fun. I really loved the interactive science. Building a bridge was my favorite. Since everyone has their own supplies, we can do way more hands-on and interactive projects. This after-school kind of club thing, you can pursue whatever you are interested in, and it is a lot of fun. Ideal for Gifted helped me a lot, and these teachers made things fun, and learning was much faster than at public school. And I am very excited to come back and visit this Friday for game time, if I can.
Of course.
Hi, my name is Candace, and my two sons are full-time students at Ideal for Gifted. One is 13 and the other is 10. I'm here because the word should be out about this wonderful program. We were in the public school system that was a good example of the best of what could have been. But the pandemic pushed me over the edge, and my heart was in homeschooling. We started with homeschooling in the fall of 2020. Yet given the nature of these kids, it evolved into more of an unschooling because they took the curricula and devoured it and wanted so many other things. So we followed their interests. Then last year, it hit me like a lightning bolt that their gifted minds needed leadership and people who understood and knew how to work with these kids in the academics, because I had gone a little overboard with the social. The flexibility with the online program gave us just enough structure to be able to carry it with us. Our family travels a lot, so it was important to us that we could travel and still really benefit from the program. We could be in Pennsylvania or Paris. They needed the intellectual nourishment and like-minded peers for their mental health. My 13-year-old has really benefited from enough structure to bring out that thing that is in him that wants to go far, but that needs some scaffolding and accountability that isn't too domineering and would push him down, but would help him lift him up. The teachers saw his capability and have helped him make the translation into the world as a part of society while still maintaining his authentic self. My 10-year-old is the poster child for asynchronous development. He's someone who went into his shell, especially with everything related to ELA, while doing well in things like math and science. In one semester, he has completely come out of his shell, feels safe, supported, and not underestimated. It is a dream come true. This is what I imagined when I thought about what would be the most perfect situation for my children. This was the missing piece of the puzzle that makes me feel like we are all in the right place, almost like a calling. We've seen them grow for their own benefit so they could really come into their own. It's as personalized as private tutoring, but it also has interactions and the connections with similar students and the teachers who really get them.
Gonna margin. I have 3 kids. Two of my older two, Zalia, who's 11 and is now an alumni of the program and waving hi in the background, and Surian, who you guys met before, as well as my 3-year-old Luca. You want to say hi?
Hi.
There he is.
Hi, Luca.
So he might, seems like he might be a future student. Zalia spent 2 years with the program, and Surian is now in his 3rd year. And before we found Ideal for Gifted, we had spent about 3 years struggling through the public school system. Not only were they not being challenged academically, but emotionally, their needs were not getting met. We would get back really frustrated kids who threw tantrums at home because they just weren't being seen at school. And we would talk to the teachers. They were constantly told they were fine, but because my kids weren't going to throw a fuss at school, but they did at home. We had to consistently work at home to satisfy and encourage their love of learning. After talking things through with other parents at private schools, local gifted schools, our feeling was that even the floor was lower at those schools. They still weren't actually better equipped to handle truly advanced learners like our kids, where you would also preserve that love of learning, which was really important to my wife and I. So finding Ideal for Gifted has really been a game changer for us. Jillian, in one of our parent-teacher conferences, described academic challenge as a mental health need of gifted children. This has been right on the money with our kids. They've been much happier. They've connected with peers who share their passions and interests. Has really been wonderful to see. Also, their confidence. They're much more willing and able to take risks, step outside their comfort zones. The tantrums that we were seeing, at least the ones about school and paralyzing perfectionism, those are things more or less of the past for us right now. I want to also mention how responsive the school is as a parent. So when we went to previous schools, we would talk to them about what we were seeing at home, and it was more or less like they didn't care, more like that they didn't change what they were doing, and almost dismissed what we were seeing at home. Here, you bring something up, and there's a conversation immediately happening with the teacher. They value your opinion as a parent, and you work as a team to figure out a better solution. It's not all been smooth sailing. My wife and I both work outside of the house some as well. One of us is always in the house now, but we're a two working parent family. Some stuff comes up that it's hard to balance, but we're always able to have a conversation with the teachers and figure out a solution to move forward with. That's just been so, it gives you hope. um, you always have hope. It's been just such a phenomenal fit for our family. We've seen so much growth in our kids, not just academically, but really their emotional growth has been amazing to see. It's been one of our best decisions as parents, and I can't say enough good things about this place.
We really sought this out because I truly wanted to foster a love of learning. I've had 2 kids in this program over the past few years. My oldest son, Elliot, is a deep feeling perfectionist. He is very hard on himself, and Ideal for Gifted gave him the confidence to believe in his abilities. And I really feel so much of his self-worth, his happiness and peace of mind. I cry every time I think about this, comes from the foundation that Ideal for Gifted provided. My younger son, Gus, you can wave again, you just met, and he's the reason we found you. If you noticed the theme in his presentation, he likes fun and he likes to relax. So I'm sure you can imagine what it was like when the bar was set at public school that was far below his intellectual abilities. Gus relaxed. So Ideal for Gifted brought back that love of learning. I have truly cried tears of relief that my child has been engaged and he's thriving, and he realized the power and excitement in learning. Yeah, you came smiling and running over here to see your school again. And he really learned that his brain is a muscle. And, you know, Dr. Stewart talked about the unique abilities and really fostering that uniqueness of each kid. And she really allowed his creativity and his nonlinear thinking to be a strength instead of a detriment. He has already told you he loves this online platform because it's efficient, but it's still social. He actually gasped out loud when Dr. Stewart said real friends, because he said, I made more real friends in this school than I have anywhere. And tell Surya and I said hi. Yes. Okay. I loved that it taught him time management. I don't think you mentioned that, Dr. Stewart, but every hour he had to remember to get to class and to manage his work, and he really did. He's the best time teller I know at age 12. And I will say, as a parent coming from public school, there was definitely an adjustment, but we settled into a good balance as to how to make this work at home after about a semester. If any of you are here and had done pandemic online learning, this is nothing like public school pandemic online learning. What I didn't expect, Dr. Stewart, is how much this school strengthened my relationship with my own children. I got to know them better. I watched them engage with different teachers, with other students, and with different projects. He's still dancing around behind me. And I know that about him, and I love it. But you really gave me wonderful insights about what works for each of my kids. And I really have a more dynamic way of interacting with them, thanks to this school and the community it built. So I don't know, I just can say my kids are so different. Both of them are very, very different, and the school worked for both of them. You really see the whole student, and you really help them individually thrive and teach that love of learning. So that I can't say enough. I'm a groupie and a big fan, and I appreciate having time to share that.